All right, guys. We back up. Had a little bit of a malfunction, man. I had to reboot my computer and everything. Let me make sure we got everything back cracking. Let me see here. You guys let me know. Okay. You guys, okay. I see you guys in the comment section. You guys hear me loud, clear? We back good, y'all. We back good. Everybody in the place to be is back up. All right, y'all. Let's get right back into it. Hey, so my man Blue Blood Sports TV, he had to shake. Once again, I know it's late out there I know it's late out there in the States. I'm once again out here in Thailand. It's 10 o'clock in the morning right now. And so my man Boxing Eagle and Blue, they had to check out. Still over here with my boy Money. Money, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, Money, you here, right? I had you on mute. Money, say it one more time. You here?
Yes, I'm here, man.
There we go. Here
we are.
Here we are.
All right.
Back in the place to be. Yes, sir. Hashtag new media or no media. We back, baby. We back. Hey, before we keep going, oh man, okay. So it started a new super chat. I was about to read some of the cats in the super chat, but since we just started over, it erased all the cats that was in the super chat. So shout out to everybody. I didn't get to read some of the cats in the super chat at the end of the list. But let's go ahead and take a call, man, since we got cats waiting on hold. They've been waiting on hold for quite some time. Sorry, some of these are new cats calling in now, and I'm gonna go ahead and let my man Reggie back on right now. So Reggie, you back up, but I'm gonna take another call. Okay, so we got 773. Right. What's going on, 773? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, this is Melvin Jackson. I'm calling from Chicago.
Chi-Town, what's going on, Mel? What's going on, Mel?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right. What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
What's happening now? What's going on?
How you doing? The first thing, I need y'all to do me a favor. And guess what? I need y'all to stop speaking that truth, man.
Truth.
I need you guys to stop it.
That truth is dangerous,
too much truth there.
And that's
the truth is killing, man. You need to stop it.
And that's the exact translation, Melvin. And Melvin, that's the exact translation when they say, "Hey, can you guys stop talking about race? Can you stop talking about this?" What they saying is, Can you guys please stop talking the truth, man? Because this is really, really hitting home, man. Can you guys please stop telling the truth, man? That's exactly what they saying, Melvin. But yeah, man, go ahead, Mel.
All right. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the fight this weekend. I mean, last weekend, the Crawford fight. That was a great fight. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing that gets me is he got hit a few times and stuff because he was trying to stop him and stuff. And guess what? A lot of channels say that he was exposed and stuff like that. I don't see it that way at all. They said the same thing about Errol Spence and stuff, and they also said that he didn't call out Spence and stuff. But let's be real, Spence didn't call him out neither.
Yeah.
And really, I don't want to see neither one of them call out each other. I'd rather see them two face each other for undisputed.
I want
to see them be the last two standing.
Yeah. Once again,
and I love your point because that's the point I want to make, which was bugging me about the shows that were going live today about them not calling each other out. There's nothing important about that. Everybody knows that those two fighters want that fight. Their personalities ain't to call people out. But once the fight is made, that's what they're gonna do. Like, how are you? People are switching the narrative on these guys a day after the fight. Like, you have to be realistic. We're gonna get that fight. They're not hiding from each other.
No, they're not ducking each other at all. It's and if anybody, you said Cat's been saying that online. You said Cat's been accusing Errol Spence and Terence Crawford of ducking each other. Is that what you said, Reggie? Reggie,
no, because a lot of the you hear me?
Yeah. See, well, I'm just saying if that is the case, like I said, man, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, I truly believe that they personally like each other. They know the position that they're in. And I think, honestly, I think personally, they're rooting for each other. And they know eventually they're going to fight against each other. But like I said, there's no reason. There's no reason. I mean, to me, that's like if you had too many Pacquiaos, you had too many Pacquiao type of fighters from the Philippines that were both on top, they're not going to want to fight each other right away. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's no other alternative. So right now we have two American fighters that are, the most promising fighters in the country right now. And there's no reason for them to fight each other until, once again, they both make it to the playoffs. If no one, and what I fear is we are going to end up getting that fight prematurely because of the fact that no one will fight Errol Spence. Right now, Terence Crawford, he's created his own path where he got to fight against Jeff Horn. He just beat Jose Benavidez. That's two undefeated fighters back to back. That's a very impressive feat. So, and now if things were going accordingly, if things were going the right way, Errol Spence would get Sean Porter and unify that belt. Then maybe he would get like a Keith Thurman, and then it would make all the sense in the world for them to fight. But because no one is going to fight Errol Spence, they're most likely going to end up fighting sometime earlier than they should. And yeah, I would definitely, I don't know why people are trying to rush that fight. I want to see them fight, closer towards the end once they both clean up their side of the division. And coincidentally, Errol Spence actually said the same thing I said. And I don't know if he got that from me, but he said exactly what I said. He said, let him clean up his side and let me clean up my side. That's what he said. So they see it the same way. There's no, you talking stupid, man. I think it's talking stupid if you sitting over here saying, they ducking each other and why they not fighting each other, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it is going to happen earlier than I think it's supposed to happen if no one fights Errol Spence,
That's what bothers me.
Yeah, that bothers me too.
Because I really wanted them to fight Keith and Porter first, and maybe get Danny Garcia fight, and then them two face each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our black fighters, we got a special breed. We are a special bunch. You know that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I remember a long time ago when I had Rancis Bartholomew on my show, long time ago, and he was just telling me how a Cuban will never fight.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up with y'all then.
Okay, take care, Melvin. Take care, Melvin. Take care, man.
All right.
Rancis Bartholomew, he was on the show, and he was telling me how a Cuban will never fight another Cuban. That's what he said. He said, no, a Cuban will never fight another Cuban. I'm sure it'll happen eventually, but his point was simple. We gonna fight other people. Damn, these flies trying to get some camera time right now. But anyway, he said, we gonna go ahead. He said, we're going to go ahead and fight everyone else, and we're going to stay unified when it comes to the Cubans. Once again, a lot of Mexican fighters would be the same way. A lot of Puerto Rican fighters would be the same way. If there were two fighters on the level of Miguel Cotto and they had other options out there, they're definitely going to most likely take care of them other options, unless there's like personal bad blood between them, and and maybe it's a situation like Fernando Vargas versus Oscar De La Hoya, where Fernando Vargas said one day he was jogging and he fell and Oscar ran past him and laughed at him, and Oscar was a dick to him, so it was personal. That was a personal civil war right there. But if it's not personal, that usually doesn't happen. Usually those are the last fights that we see. So yeah, so I want to see it, but that's for a different time right now. Hey, let's switch gears since I did put it in the title. I'm gonna take another call in a minute, but before I do, let me see who we got. We got Money and we got Reggie. Okay, Money. So the news now is Floyd Mayweather. And you guys help me because I don't watch a whole lot of UFC anymore. I did before, but I don't watch a lot now, so I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's last name, Khabib. Here, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Hold on one sec. You tell me if I'm saying his name right. Is it Nurmagomedov? Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Habib Nurdoff.
Yeah.
I just say Khabib.
Yeah.
That's all. I
Khabib
keep
is
it short. Just keep it.
Yeah,
Khabib.
Khabib is as simple as it can be. So anyway, so Khabib after choking out Conor McGregor, he called out Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he said he'll take the fight. He said he'll go ahead and pick up another one of them zillion-dollar checks, which makes a whole lot of sense. Khabib is undefeated. Khabib is undefeated. He just once again choked out. I was reading a comment while I was saying that. My man said, Dante, I'm swatting those mosquitoes out there. Yeah, man, I got some spray over here. I got the repellent, you know what I'm saying? So they messing with the wrong one over here. They messing with the wrong one. But anyway, man, so that's the fight that's brewing right now. Money, your thoughts on the situation? You think it will happen, and you think it'll be a big event if Floyd does fight them, and where are they going to fight? I'm thinking they're going to fight in the boxing ring because they haven't really indicated where the fight is going to take place. But the fact that Khabib didn't say, you would think Khabib will say, I want to fight him, but it has to be in the octagon. Since he didn't say that, it sounds to me like he wants a boxing match, right, Money?
You know, I was thinking Khabib was saying like the same thing. I was thinking that to come on over, into the boxing ring, because he's not stupid. This guy's pretty smart. He knows there's much more money fighting in the boxing ring against a great like Floyd Mayweather. I just want to know if Floyd's really going to do it, because people will pay for it. As a matter of fact, they'll pay even bigger money, I think, for this fight than what they did with Conor.
Well, no doubt about it. I think it will be. I think it will be as big. Me. Yeah, because if you think about it, if they continue from the success. Basically, Floyd versus Conor did big numbers, and then Conor versus Khabib did the best numbers UFC has ever done. So off that success right there, you're right, Money. This is going to be huge. I don't know if it will do better than Conor, but it will be equivalent to what Conor Mayweather did or Mayweather McGregor did. So it will be it will be entertaining. It'll be minus
the
all
battle of the undefeateds, man.
The battle of the undefeateds.
The battle.
It'll just be minus all the racist rhetoric that your boy Conor McGregor injected. Which once again, none of these decafs said to McGregor, "Hey man, can you just keep it about boxing? Can you not mention race? Can you not race bait Conor, et cetera, et cetera?" We know what time it is, man. And let me shout out a new member of that DBN Super Chat donation section. My man just donated to me, and shout out to everybody who donated before I got disconnected, because now it deleted all that information of the people who donated a minute ago before I got disconnected. But let me go ahead and shout out the new members in that donation chat section. My man, The Journey. What's going on, The Journey? He donated. I appreciate you, family. My man Money always showing that love. That's real family right there. My man Money Powell, who's one of my regular panelists. He just showed love in the donation chat, in the donation section. He said the decafs can't leave the DBN chat line because they know you are telling the truth. So they do the text buys to stir stuff up in order to get a reaction. 1,000% facts right there, Money. Good looking out. I appreciate you always, family. Yeah, man.
You got it down.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
Sir.
That's what it is. That's what it is, Money. Money, how else can you explain How else can you explain the fact, once again, we sitting over here inviting you to call in, and we even giving them special treatment. We even throwing them in front of the line. A lot of times there'll be tons of people on hold waiting to call in. We'll throw decals in front of the line, give you special treatment, and they still don't call in.
I'm telling you.
Because Money, it feels good. It just feels good to say something negative about a person and have a group of people saying the same thing. That's what it really comes down to. Just saying it feels good. Oh, that punk mom. Oh, that punk MF Dante, that bastard. That makes other decals feel good. Like, yeah, finally someone feels the same way about that bastard. I like these comments. Hey, but don't call in, y'all. Don't call in, because he gonna make us look stupid. We got to keep this in the comment section, y'all. Please don't call in. Matter of fact, Money, no BS. when these decals fill up my
Dante.
comments, let me say this real quick before I forget.
Man.
When these decals fill up my comment section, when I criticize Canelo or whatever, like I said, when I criticize Porter, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, they don't care because they're black. But when I criticize Canelo, Golovkin, they fill up my comment section. And when they do, I always tell them, I start responding to some of them. Call in. I would love to get you on the show. Do you know some other decals actually say, no, man, don't call in because all they're going to do is try to make you look stupid and whatever. There were other decals in the comment section urging the other decals not to call in. Do you know how backwards that is? They know that it's the truth. That's like trying to urge Gennady Golovkin not to fight Charlo. You know what I'm saying? That's like trying to urge Canelo not to fight Charlo. Nah, man, don't fight Charlo. Don't fight Charlo. What has he done? What has he done? Don't call in Dante's show. No, please don't do it, man. Please don't do it. Let's just keep calling him a bitch and a bastard in the comment section, okay? Please don't call in because they know. They know what that truth is, man. They know what that truth is. Go ahead, Reggie.
And Dante,
okay.
I had said earlier, you know, when the stream went down for a moment, I said some of these people, when they end up calling in, all of what they hoped and thought that they were going to get was just smashed. All their hopes and dreams were smashed right online in front of everyone in order to witness.
Exactly.
Right.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Go ahead, Reggie.
Because the truth to these guys is a knock on the status quo. They want things to be as crooked as they always been. And for you to address it, it brings light to possibly knocking these things down. And that's kind of what's happening. We're starting to see knocking down of these unfair, biased, bigoted designs for things. Like, ain't nobody standing up for it. And it's good to hear them cry and want to label things as a black show, always speaking out of race. That's a good thing to hear them doing that.
Yeah.
Because they know what's happening. They just fear the changes.
Like I said,
it's keep mashing the gas on that.
Keep smashing the gas, and like I said,
good point.
Yeah. I mean, once again, they know that it's the truth. They know that it's the truth, and once again, it's therapeutic for them. It's therapeutic for them to say. I mean, it's kind of like, for example, you know, if a girl dumped you, even if it was your fault, even if you was the one that screwed up, if a girl dumped you, you heartbroken. What's going to make you feel better? It's going to make you feel better to hear somebody say something negative about her. Even if you knew you was the one that was wrong, it's going to just feel a little bit better. You know, it's like, you know, or you get fired from a job. You was still in at the job, but you got fired. And you find out the job is good, that company is going out of business or whatever. You know, you find out Papa John's, for example. Papa John's fire you, and you find out the owner is racist and he has to resign. That's going to make you feel better that they fired you. You know what I'm saying? It's therapeutic for them. It's a loyalty factor at the end of the day. Once again, it's like gang banging. It doesn't matter if you about to commit a crime and you know you dead wrong. You ain't going to tell nobody it's wrong because you loyal to the gang. So when they see me telling the truth, they know that what I'm saying is true, but they're loyal to their gang. And they have to rep their gang. And that's what it comes down to, man. I understand the psychology of a decaf, man, all day. What's up?
You know what I love about these guys is the ones who get on here and talk about, this is boxing talk, you always talk about race. Everything related to sports is around race. And then you see so much of the double standards in the way things are addressed in sports. And that's why I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch fights with other people because they're programmed by it. But you sit and watch ESPN and a small skirmish in the NBA occurs, a small skirmish in NFL, and they're bashing these players about how they need to defend and all that. But in these same sports segments, you can watch hockey and they're sitting there praising the fight segment. And that stuff right there is just sickening to me.
Yeah, bro. I mean, growing up,
makes a good point. Yeah.
Growing up in Long Beach, California, when I used to come up, because I used to box earlier, and we used to go to the fights, and going into the fights way before I was reporting fights. Every single time I went to an event, StubHub Center, which used to be the Home Depot Center out there in L.A., somebody would always end up calling a black person, especially if it was a Mexican fighting a black guy, and the crowd would be predominantly Mexican. Someone would it was like It was like it was like repetitive. Somebody would call a black person the N-word or a monkey. Next thing you know, you'll see a riot. You'll see every single fight. There was a riot. I remember I went to the Chavez De La Hoya fight. I went to the Chavez De La Hoya fight, and I didn't go to the fight. It was I went to the closed circuit Long Beach Arena or whatever it was, Long Beach something. And we were the only, me and some brothers I had met coming in there. We were the only black people in the whole room. And some of the Mexican fans who were like strong Chavez fans, they were really rooting for Chavez. Their pride kind of blinded their logic and vision. So they thought that Chavez had a chance to win. So I took advantage of it. I started betting money. I was betting money with all these cats around me that De La Hoya was going to win. Boy, these cats, man, I must have walked out there with about $500. And at the time, I felt like I was rich because I don't know how old I was super young. But I walked out there with damn near $500. And as we walked out, you hear somebody like way, way behind me. Remember, we the only black people in there. And it's like, thousands of fans there. And then I hear somebody say, F them N-words. F them N-words. Yeah, F them N-words and all this kind of stuff, right? So my point is they inject racism into a situation that had nothing to do with race. You had two Mexicans fighting against each other and still race got brought up just because we were there. Right. You know what I'm saying? And once again, this is how a lot of riots have gotten started. You know what I'm saying? But I continued to go to all these fights, even after that, before that, because I grew up with it, so I was used to hearing that. I was used to hearing that kind of stuff. It was, repetitive type stuff. But once again, like I said before, it's unfortunate that once again, us black and Mexicans, we are into the same things. We're into the hip hop culture. If I told you right now, and if I described somebody, a criminal or something like that, if I was just trying to describe somebody, and I said, oh, he got some Michael Jordans on, he got a Kobe Bryant shirt on, and he got a hat turned to the back, and he jumped in the car bumping NWA. You wouldn't know if I was talking about a black person or a Mexican. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You wouldn't even know. So my point is, it doesn't make sense for us to have this type of tension. Things should be the way they are up north, because Mexicans and blacks are real close up north. Oakland, San Francisco, it's not the way it is down in Southern California. And things should be the way they are in New York, where you have blacks and Puerto Ricans that are very, very close. And unfortunately, it's not like that. And I truly believe that people like Robert Garcia, who's very influential, he's a role model. People like Mikey Garcia, people like Abner Mares, I think maybe they should start being role models and going to these cities and start saying, "Hey guys, let's unify. We need unity." Just like the Bloods and the Crips, how they came together and said, "Hey y'all, let's go ahead and unify. We need some unity and let's put our flags together." Because voices like Abner Mares, and the reason why I bring Abner Mares' name up is because Abner Mares, he said a couple years back in a pre-fight interview, he voluntarily brought this information up in the interview. He said, "Yeah, man, when I grew up, there were riots and et cetera, et cetera." He said, and I would be right in the middle of it. He said, we would have riots with black people and I'd be right in the middle of it. He said all this kind of stuff. So if you could share information like that and now you are a role model, you should go back to that neighborhood and say, "Hey, y'all, let's work together." Because Abner Mares has black people in this camp. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
He has black people in this camp, so he should say that. He should say, "Hey, y'all, let's stop all this black and brown stuff, man. We all grow up in the same communities. You know what I'm saying? We all, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." So yeah, man, food for thought, man. A whole lot of food for thought. But that's pretty much what it is. With that being said, let's go ahead and get to the next subject. We're gonna wrap this up, but I want to take a couple more calls before we get out of here. We got 503. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, my name is Mikey. I'm calling from Portland, Oregon.
What's going on, Mikey? What's on your mind, man?
Mikey, what's happening?
I just wanted to talk about a few things that have, been going through my mind. The boxing game is just pretty lit in 2018, as it has been, past couple of years. And I wanted to talk about Crawford versus Benavidez, and just like the ridiculous reactions that have been coming out of it. I mean, the whole thing is, Crawford versus Spence, and it seems like, anybody who saw that Crawford might have struggled, which I didn't think he really struggled. I mean, it's kind of like, Andre Ward said in Ego's interview. What's up, Ego? I listen to you all the time, by the way. Let me just say right now, like in that Ward interview, Ward
And
said,
real quick, I'm sorry,
Ego's
not on the horn anymore. He's not on with us anymore. But go ahead.
Oh, he's not? Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
anyway,
all good.
But, so no, like Ward said, we didn't see anything that we didn't already know about Terence Crawford. Like, we know he's a slow starter. And people were like way, underrating Benavidez. Benavidez was like this sort of golden child prospect, undefeated, had power, hand speed, he's like Paul Williams height, and whatnot. And sometimes it just takes a guy longer to get him out of there. I mean, you look at Demetrius Andrade when he stepped up against Alantez Fox. I mean, he easily, like, if you really look at it, he probably could have got the guy out of there if he took a lot more risk. But at a certain level, you don't want to take that risk, especially if you're in a position that Crawford's at, and he played his cards right, and he got the stoppage. So, I mean, what else do you want from the guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, and me, I said while I was watching the fight that if he wanted to, I said it's already an impressive win. But if he did want to put a cherry on the top, he could knock him out, and he ended up knocking him out. So, I mean, there's no way you could criticize the performance at all. There's no way you could criticize that performance at all. So that's all I really have to say.
And with these excuses and these complaints people are making, and it just goes to why I don't watch boxing with people. I watch boxing at home alone because people come up with such unrealistic criticism. Like, it's boxing. Every fight doesn't have to end in a knockout. There's 12 rounds for a reason. And he wasn't up against the bum, and people are discounting him and using this written-in excuse. Like, nothing was wrong with that guy's red.
No,
he fought a great fight. He was a great opponent, and he was tough.
Well,
I totally agree. Like, that was some bullshit. How everybody's talking about, like, oh, his leg. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like he's off of like 2 knockouts. I mean, the guy was looking fine. I mean, it's like they only say that there's something the matter when it like totally applies. Like, it's like Golovkin and Pacquiao, they're like, oh, Golovkin after he fights Canelo, oh, he looks old. After he fights Blanes, it's classic vintage Golovkin. And same thing with Pacquiao, after Pacquiao gets beat by Mayweather, he's old. Then he fights Timothy Bradley, it's vintage Pacquiao. Then Jeff Horney's old, and then vintage Pacquiao again after Batista.
Mm-hmm. Cycle never stops.
Even after the knockdown, watch the way Benavidez gets up. He gets up in a position not favoring that knee. He stood flat on both feet, and he pressed up from it. He squatted up. There was no sign of any injury in that knee.
But
and people can cut that excuse.
But you did not hear him complain.
He didn't complain.
Once it had.
And
when it was stopped, you didn't hear him complain either.
And I touched on it earlier, guys.
Oh yeah, there was no complaining.
And I touched on it earlier. I told you guys if Jose Benavidez was a type of fighter that constantly moved around the ring like a Sergio Martinez, like a Muhammad Ali did in his heyday, then you could say, oh well, look he's not moving around the ring anymore. So something, maybe his legs are affected. So the argument makes no sense because these fans, they claim they like aggressive fighters, they like knockouts. So if you talking about him not having his legs, then you're basically saying you wanted him to quote unquote run. You wanted him to run around the ring. Jose Benavidez was doing the exact same thing that Terence Crawford was doing. Matter of fact, Crawford was moving around the ring more than Jose Benavidez was. Jose Benavidez was standing his ground. So, like I said earlier in the show, if he had these magical, quote-unquote, 2 good legs, what would he have done differently? What would he have done with that leg? What would he have done? Would that make him, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't apply in this situation. There's way too many ways to shred that excuse.
It was never an issue until now. So to me, none of that actually counts, right?
Yeah, it's
and it's like
hey, Dante.
why contend for the championship if you have these leg issues? Like, you should be doing 8-round fights
Yeah,
until it gets better.
yep. Go ahead, Money.
Hey, Dante, just to let you know, once you finish with the current caller, you have someone by code name 510 that's looking to call in. Okay.
Okay. I got it. Let me see if 510. Okay, and he is, matter of fact, he's our next call. So okay, hey bro, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go, man. Hey, good stuff, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, man.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. All right, you guys take care. Love what you're doing.
Hey, same to you.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy.
Thank you. Take care, man.
All righty.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the next one. Okay, let me see here. All right. So this is the person Money said wanted to call in. He's been on hold. We got 510. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Man, it's Troy, man. You know me.
What's going on, Troy? I don't know you. I don't know you
Troy,
yet until you explain. But what's going on?
Hey, bro, whatever happened to Lomachenko and all the hype? What happened? I've been looking for him. I don't see him.
I remember this voice somewhere.
You said what? You said
Lomachenko?
what?
And what happened to Golovkin and all them niggas that they thought was sweet that I said that wasn't shit, and they ain't never wasn't gonna be nothing because they wasn't trying to fight nobody.
Hey, man, the truth is
I want to know who Lomachenko gonna fight because Burchill is at the top of the league. The other Puerto Rican is at the top of the league, and he ain't trying to get no work. He's gonna try to fight Pedraza because Pedraza's not a known power puncher.
But you know,
I'm trying to find out where Lomachenko at and why Golovkin ain't trying to really get in there with Charlo, and he complaining when I told everybody back 3 years ago Golovkin's resume was ass and he wasn't trying to fight nobody, and now he's still not trying to fight nobody.
Well,
I'm just trying to find out where these guys is at.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, Karma is a hell of an opponent, especially for Gennady Golovkin. I mean, when it comes to Lomachenko, I wouldn't put Lomachenko in Golovkin's category at all. But when it comes to Gennady Golovkin, right. Karma is coming for Golovkin because now Gennady Golovkin, he's been forced to contradict himself. He told the public he wanted to unify the belts. As soon as he had a tough mandatory like Darren Yevchenko and Charlo, now he's giving up all his belts. Now he still want to fight Canelo. And now I love that brilliant move that the WBC pulled on him where they basically said, now you got to fight Charlo to get Canelo. So now Golovkin is trapped. Golovkin can't go. There's
no escape.
There's nowhere for Golovkin to go without him looking bad right now. Because if Golovkin retires, he retires with an L. His last fight was an L where he lost to a dude that was smaller than him, moved up in weight. He lost to it. He got backed up by a guy that Floyd Mayweather had actually backed up while Floyd was 20 pounds smaller than him. That's who you lost to, and that's what people remember you by. So he could either go out that route.
Do you think Canelo can beat Floyd right now?
I don't think so. I think the 40. I think Floyd Mayweather could come in there in a wheelchair and it'll be a competitive fight. I think it'll be a competitive fight. I mean, it's once again, these are all excuses, man. When you try to say, "Oh, Canelo wasn't ready at 23," this is all. Anybody ever say that to you? All you have to do is ask them this question. Let's reverse the roles. Imagine if it was Floyd that was 23, and it was Canelo that was close to 40, and Floyd was at a natural higher weight class. Floyd was bigger and stronger than Canelo Alvarez. Floyd and Canelo had to move up in weight after he already moved up 5 weight classes, close to 40 years old, and he's fighting against Floyd Mayweather at 23. Who will win that fight? We all know Floyd would have dog walked and knocked out Canelo if he was 23 at a higher weight class than Canelo Alvarez. We know this. So my point is you can't use the excuse. You can't use the excuse saying Canelo wasn't ready at 23. How can Canelo not be ready at 23, but Floyd can be more than ready at 23? You know what I mean? So I think
who the best welterweight out right now? Who the best welterweight?
Well, let me ask you that question. What do you think? Let me ask you that question. What you think?
Man, I think if just on any given night, if Keith Thurman was fighting
and everybody was healthy, I still would say Keith Thurman and then Terence Crawford because Keith Thurman is just so awkward, bro.
You
And
see,
he be
think Keith
hitting
Thurman?
dumbass hard. Yeah, I would just say Keith Thurman just until I see somebody beat him, but it just that Keith Thurman ain't in the picture, then I'm going with Terence Crawford.
Hey, is this Troy King?
Yeah, this is Troy King, bro.
Oh, Troy, why you do me like that, man? Why you do me like that, man?
Bro, I said it's Troy, nigga. You know who I am.
No, but because I'm used to random cats calling in. So no, you a celebrity. You got to say your full name, man. You got to say your full name.
King, bro.
Hey, y'all. Good. Oh man, my bad, man. My bad. I would have gave you a better introduction,
man,
family.
Tripping, bro.
My bad. Hey, we got Troy King. We got Troy King on the horn, man. That's what's up, man. Hey, man. So, go ahead and finish your point. Then I got to ask you some questions. But what else was you saying, Troy?
I was just saying, I would go with probably like, for a skill level, not because all of them haven't fought each other yet. But I would say Bud got the most skill, but the hardest one to beat is different from having the most skill. I would say Keith Thurman is the hardest to beat because he got power and he weird, he's awkward in there and he's fast. And then I would say Bud, and then I would say Errol Spence. Then I would say Sean Porter, and then probably like Danny Garcia. But it's a new welterweight that's coming up. It's a new dude named Castillo Clayton.
Castillo Clayton?
Castillo Clayton.
Okay.
Castillo Clayton, bruh. He number one in the WBO. He ahead of Mean Machine. He a Haitian. He a 2012 Canadian Olympian. Y'all heard it from me first. The nigga dumb nice. And he's big, and I don't hear nobody talking about him. I don't think people know about him. He 15-0 with 12 knockouts, and he already number one in the WBO.
Hey, y'all heard it from
in line, but they gonna put Mean Machine in there. But he really ready though.
Hey, y'all heard it from Troy. Y'all heard it from Troy King. Hey, but going back to Keith Thurman, man. If Keith Thurman, and I know you shared this, you thought this way about Keith Thurman for quite some time, but if Keith is the most dangerous or the best welterweight, don't you kind of think that's unfair that Errol Spence been wanting to prove him wrong when it comes to that notion, and Keith may never fight him, or if he does, it could still be a while from now?
No, I don't think none of these niggas is scared of anybody. Because you got to remember, Keith Thurman fought Demetrius Andrade in the amateurs for free 4 times.
Yeah, but you have no choice though, Troy. In that situation, you really have no choice. You know, when you in the Olympics and the amateurs, you have no choice but to fight them for free.
But I'm just saying, it's still fought him 4 times. So I'm just saying, like, all these guys know each other. They've been fighting each other. Whenever Keith get back to fighting, he gonna fight him, but not even in my opinion. I'm just saying from what I've seen and studied with the boxing, if you don't fight the journeyman and get them on your resume, it doesn't put you in the pay grade to fight a Keith Thurman, a Danny Garcia, and them type of niggas. Because they in a different pay grade, bro. They get a lot of money. They clearing over $2 and $3 million to get these fights. And Sean Porter is up there now. And you can't get another man in there who ain't in your pay grade. That's why Floyd be waiting to niggas get a certain notoriety, and then he get them on that Mexican holiday so he can bring the most capital in. But I'm just saying that to say, I would like to see Earl fight some guys and fight like a Berto, Collazo, Ugas, Mean Machine, and maybe some old vets. Like, okay, niggas gonna say, he'll beat them niggas, but you got to get in there and win. Because they might make you look a certain way and they tell you some shit about yourself, and you go back to the board and reapply.
And that's why I want to see Thurman fight Errol Spence, because you got to get in there and you got to win. You know, we need a conclusion at the welterweight division, and the fact that
in order for Errol Spence to get that work, he has to do a couple things. Because when you in the IBF, you got people in the IBF who waiting to get the IBF. Then you got people in the WBC and the WBO and the WBA. It's like they own leagues. If you don't fight the niggas in them leagues, you don't be in line to fight. If that was the case, people wouldn't have step-aside money. You know what I'm saying? Like, Deontay Wilder had to pay Berman Severn step-aside money before he fought him the second time because he was trying to get the other fight. Then he just said, finally, I'm tired of paying him these 500 to 1,000. I'm going to just go ahead and get him out of there. That's why you can't just because you got an IBF title doesn't make you important in the WBC weight class, in the WBC sanctioning body. Because you got to fight people in the WBC sanctioning body. And it's people in the top 10, if you go look it up on there, that he would have to bump them out the way. Like Kenny Porter said it, like he not ranked in none of those other sanctioning bodies. Just because he's the IBF champion, that makes him the IBF number one. He does not in the number one in any other sanctioning body, and he got to sign up for the clean testing. Like, you got to do that shit. Like, you can't just be getting a belt and just want to fight other champions because there's other niggas in line to fight the champion in the respected sanctioning body.
But Troy,
that's how this shit works.
I hear you,
but you still have to challenge.
But Troy,
for these other belts.
but Troy, But Troy, would you agree though that Errol does want the fight more than Keith Thurman wants it right now, though?
I can't really say that, bro, because
you don't think so?
Everybody just keeps saying Errol wants this fight. Oh, he's supposed to want it because it's a good payday against one of the top guys, and he's not on Keith Thurman's level yet. So anybody below
You don't think he's on Thurman's level, Troy? You don't think he's on Thurman's level right now?
I'm talking about far as him fighting bigger competition. Because Earl only fought, 147 pounder?
He fought Kell Brook. He fought Kell Brook. He fought Lamont Peterson. Yeah.
Lamont Peterson come from 140.
I know, but if that's the case, then that means probably 80% of the people Thurman fought didn't deserve to fight him either, though. I mean, if we using that logic.
But Keith Thurman fought the journeyman he was supposed to fight. He fought the Soto Carrazes, the Diego Chavezes. He fought a lot of journeymen, and then he fought 6 tough fights in a row, which led to him being injured. But I'm just saying, when I go back and look at all the guys who came up, they actually fought journeymen and other guys with some clout, and it was multiple champions to get the big fight. You got to do that. See, Golovkin is trying to do the same thing for real. Golovkin is trying to do the same. He's just hanging around trying to say, well, I'm a champion. I need to fight these guys. But you didn't fight nobody really to get here.
Yeah, what you
talking? Just put you up there.
You talking about?
But when the names are out there, you have to. If you're a champion and this is the hot name in the division, it's Earl Spence name ain't even drawn up by media hype. This is what other fighters are saying. Other fighters know he's the truth. And even when Keith was healthy, he seen what was happening. And anytime anybody brought up that name, he always came up with the excuses. And I used to defend Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
And he played me out.
I mean, Keith said that he would fight Errol Spence in 2017. We going into 2019 now. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, Keith shouldn't say that. Keith shouldn't say that he's going to fight him around 2017 and he's still not, it's not even close to happening right now. I mean, it's not even.
I think they're going to fight. I just think Earl should build his brand up more to get the bigger fight. Like, he need to fight some notable names. Huh?
Everybody. Well, Danny Garcia
doesn't have the passion.
Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, they both said that Errol Spence is the biggest fight to be made. They said that before they fought against each other, because they said they would fight him next. They said they want to fight Errol Spence because they said that's the biggest fight. They said that's the biggest fight to make, and Sean even went so far as to say that if they try to get me to fight Thurman, I'm gonna turn it down to fight Errol Spence. That's what he said. And of course he talked different.
That's what he said.
That's what he said, exactly.
They're not gonna offer him the money that they offer. I know what people are saying, but Keith Thurman clearly is a bigger draw because he's been on the stage longer. He can't be a bigger draw but Keith Thurman was on the bigger stage longer, so is Danny Garcia.
But
so
visually,
you can say whatever you want to say, but they have been on the bigger stage making the bigger person.
I hear you, Troy.
You get in there with a Keith Thurman or a Danny Garcia, you're gonna get more money because them niggas making mad money.
Keith Thurman has been absent so long, he's in the back of people's mind. The only reason why people want to see him in the ring is to see him be defeated. He's not in the mind of anyone. No one really talks about him.
Yeah, I mean when you take off that kind of time, when he took off that time, he gave Errol Spence an opportunity to become a big star or become a bigger name. Let's also not forget that Errol Spence, 6 million people tuned in to watch him fight against the Italian fighter. What was the Italian fighter's name, or French fighter, whatever his name was? But 6 million.
Bundu. He was 40, bro.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about how many people. No, I'm just talking about how many people tuned in to watch him. I'm saying he was introduced to 6 million fans that day. So my point is, he's definitely a bigger name than he was 2-3 years ago. That's my only point.
No, he was a bigger name, but he ain't big as Danny Garcia, or when Keith Thurman was fighting. He's big, but he just fought in Dallas against Ocampo, who's we don't even know who that is, and that was just a showcase for him to get his name out more. He just need to fight the Bertos, he need to fight the Colazos, he need to fight the niggas in his division in the IBF Ugas to keep his name out there.
Hey, no. I got. Hey, Troy. Hey, Troy. You my boy, Troy. But I gotta disagree with you on that one, man. But it's all love, family. It's all love, man.
Okay, well, why he ain't getting the fight then?
Huh? Who? Arrow?
Why he ain't getting the fight?
You don't. Hey, because they don't want to fight him.
These people I'm naming is ranked in the top. All these people I'm naming is ranked in the top 10 in the IBF, the WBO, the WBC, and the WBA. They all in the top 10.
That division, the welterweight division, that hit a critical mass. It's a lot of heavy names, and they have to fight each other. All the other folks you talk about, they need to compete against themselves. The top guys have to line it up. The money's there.
Yeah.
So what Earl gonna do? Just wait till next year? He ain't gonna fight in December.
Errol gonna
just stay ready.
Errol's gonna keep doing what he been doing. I mean, he just fought as mandatory. Before that, he fought Lamont Peterson.
Because last time I checked, he said he wanted some work, and Collazo has been asking for work. And if it's an easy fight, once you just get in there and stop the man.
Yeah, but he was trying to get Mikey Garcia in the ring too, though, and Mikey just,
Yeah, but now Mikey Garcia is out the way now.
I know.
Collazo was asking for it.
Okay, but
Collazo was asking. He's been on his Twitter asking.
Yeah.
If he's an easy fight, get him out of there.
But we want to.
Simple.
If there's no one else for him to fight, then it really doesn't matter who he fights. If we're not getting the fights we want to see him.
There's plenty of work out here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Work a stay busy fight. I
hear you.
I hear you. Many title holders. The work has to be against title holders, not these non-belt holders.
Yeah. Hey, but Troy.
Non-belt holders got other shit to do. You got to stay busy.
The sanctioning bodies are out of whack.
Hey, but Troy.
Don't mean nothing more because they're so out of whack. It's about these top guys fighting each other.
Hey,
the belts of Halloween.
Hey, Troy.
The WBC already ordered Sean Porter to do something already, so that's gone. He either can get Danny Garcia if they are fighting. I mean, Ugas is number 2 in the IBF.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility.
Bodies are the biggest joke in the sport besides duckers and these snake promoters.
That's a possibility.
Okay, bro. Hey, bro. I know about them because I'll be dealing with this shit. I'm just saying. I'm asking a question. When is he gonna get a stay busy fight against one of these vets so we could just get him out of there? Just get him out of there.
Okay, I mean, because Lamont Peterson was a good fight, and once again, that's when he was calling out Keith Thurman. You know, he couldn't get Keith Thurman in. He couldn't get Porter. He couldn't get Danny Garcia.
And that's what I'm saying. But get Collazo. Collazo just come off of 2 stoppages. He just stopped 2 prospects.
Well,
Like,
hey Troy, if there's nobody else better or a bigger name than Luis Collazo, then maybe
y'all saying there's nobody. There's nobody.
We'll see. I'm gonna get Errol's trainer on the horn, man, and see what they want to do, and we'll take it from there. Hey, but Troy, man, hey, good stuff though. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, man. But hey, man, I gotta connect with you so we can link up in the future on the show. All right, man.
All right, blood. I'll be in Vegas. It's good.
All right. Take care, Troy.
Take it easy, man.
Take care, Troy.
Okay.
All right, man. All right. Yeah.
All right.
So that's my man.
Goodbye.
Damn it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Y'all give me 1 quick second, y'all. Give me 1 quick second. Yeah, but while I'm fixing the situation, that was my man Troy King. Just called in right now. He's a boxer. You guys already know he's always doing interviews on Boxing Ego's channel. Shout out, we had Boxing Ego and Blue Blood Sports TV on the show earlier. Here, let me see here. Give me a quick second, y'all.
Cross people that bring up the silly points that I know that they didn't got.
All right, y'all, we back.
On TV.
We back,
Yeah.
y'all. We back.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, y'all. Let's get right back into it. I accidentally disconnect myself trying to disconnect my man Troy.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So getting back into it. Yeah, like I said, man. And once again, that was the homie Troy. I mean, no matter who it is, it ain't nothing personal. This is boxing talk. But yeah, I completely disagree with what my man just said. I mean, there's no way you can explain or justify Thurman's actions or anyone else when you have a belt and you claiming you're the best in that division, and Errol's been calling you out for 2 years and you willing to fight everyone but him. No, there's no justifying that. Yeah, he needs to fight.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you're 1,000% correct, but if anyone just sits down and they read, the sanctioning body rules for the belt, the super title that he holds, it's like, why haven't they cut them the life support cord? Because he's in clear violation of, because based on injury or whatever have you, they give you 9 months, man. They give you a 9-month life support.
Yeah.
Extension.
And
he's way past that. There's no justification for it. It's like, hey, look, let it go. And someone did say in the chat section, they were like, oh, I hear you all talk about Triple G, but you all don't talk about Thurman, with this belt. that he's been
we've
holding.
been, we've been talking about that. We've been talking about that.
I said, of course.
We've been talking about that. We've been talking about Thurman. We've been talking about Sean Porter. We've been talking about Anthony Joshua not fighting Wilder.
And those names were brought up.
And Dillian White. Right. I done made videos about Dillian White not fighting Ortiz. But you guys just don't care about that because those are black fighters. You guys only really pay attention when Golovkin, when a fighter who's not black is criticized. When Canelo, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care when we talking about black fighters. When we criticizing them, they're expendable to you guys. You know, you guys only care when we talking about Gennady Golovkin. So yeah, man, let's stop playing these games.
It's
we know
the
what time
hypocrisy.
it is.
That's what causes conversations like this. When you see the blatant hypocrisy of it all, and it's like, how can you say this, man? When Floyd fought for his 49th bout. And he's criticized for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, actually, I think Berto's a much better fighter than what's his name, the Conor McGregor. Come on, man. I mean, but I knew the business at hand. Mm-hmm. It's MMA versus boxing. Finally, someone did it. Mm-hmm. And you had the two kind of people at the top of their game, and they were going to, build this whole thing up. And Floyd went in and took care of business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you really didn't see major league criticism on Floyd for that because he's fighting the right kind of person that people are just rallying to see, So you really didn't hear the major criticism.
Yeah.
But here it is, Triple G comes out. He fights who? Vanes Martirosyan. Hasn't fought for 2 years, man. 2 years.
Yeah.
Smaller guy. But, he's the one. He's the one for what? What made him the one? But there's no criticism. None at all. It's like, and then when Ego brought that up, I'm like, thank you, Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
That's what forces this.
Yeah,
and it's crazy, like, people's infatuation with defending, like, the clear, unaccepted behavior of a boxer. And people would defend Triple G. They'll defend him with his life. And it's just, I guess that's the way HBO injected themselves.
It's loyalty, man.
Because
it's loyalty.
Yeah, loyalty. There you go. Yeah, loyalty. And there's nothing wrong with loyalty. There's not, but you have to, hey, man, there's a reality to this loyalty thing. It's only going to take you so far.
Yeah. It'll take you off a cliff is what it will do eventually if you don't jump off that damn bus or jump off that damn ship that's sinking. That's pretty much what it's going to do. And it's funny, while I'm saying this right now, I just peeked at an article and Demetrius Andrade, by way of contrast of what Golovkin is doing and what fans are defending him doing. Andrade just said right now, I'm too old to fight nobodies. So he's saying that he's willing to do the opposite of what fans are defending Golovkin. When how they say, he's old right now, he's old, he's 37, he shouldn't have to fight this guy or that guy, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Andre is saying the opposite. He's saying, he's basically saying, I got too much experience. He said to be fighting against nobodies. I want to fight the best. Matter of fact, let me read a little bit of what he said. He said, my situation is great right now. Had I not made the move with Eddie, I would have been fighting in England, having tune-ups, or waiting around still. I never needed tune-ups. I take every fight very seriously. I have since day one. You heard what he just said? I never needed tune-ups. He said, I never needed tune-ups. So when you got fans saying, the reason why Golovkin fought against Vanes Martirosyan, you can't have two tough fights back-to-back, et cetera, and you got this man, Demetrius Andrade, said, I never needed tune-ups. You know what I'm saying? He goes into the middleweight division. Yeah. He fights who they told him to fight, and now he wants to fight against B.J. Saunders. And then he said, and I'm reading this straight just off the top right now. I hadn't even read this article. I'm reading it right now with you guys. He said, I could have waited around and had tickovers instead. The world title chance came along, and we're on the road to the top in another division already. I think middleweight can be the new glamour division in boxing. We have big names at 160, and if you look at 154, those guys are going to grow, and they'll have to come up. Look at Jarrett Hurd. He's a big dude. The division is hot, and it's going to get hotter. So once again, man, you got fighters like Demetrius Andrade, who's willing to put it all on the line. So you cannot make all these excuses for Gennady Golovkin giving up his belt. And we ain't even talking about just tune-ups. This man is giving up his belts to not fight tough competition. You know?
Right. So now, how does that look, man?
It looks horrible.
You can't defend that garbage.
No, you can't.
You cannot defend that.
Yep. Absolutely. I don't look forward to those fights. Wait, what did he say? I don't look forward to those fights. I don't look forward to those fights. I want to fight the best only and often. When I was at 154, I had the belt and couldn't get the big fights. We're all going to make money, so let's decide who is the best, and let's get the elite in with the elite. Don't get in with has-beens or the guys on the way out. Get in with the hungry guys. I'm at 160 to show I am still the biggest and baddest wolf out there, and I'm ready to bite. I am too old to be fighting nobodies now. I've had that time. I'm not going to fight iron. What do you say? I'm not going to fight iron every time. I'm not going to fight iron every time. And last paragraph, when you are fighting lower level opponents, you can afford to get in there 4 or 5 times a year. But at the level I want to operate at, you can't do that. I'm going to take it one step at a time, do my job against Walter, come home with the belt, and we will look at, what did he say? We will look to get out early in 2019. I know Eddie Hearn and DAZN want to keep me active, and that's great. And if it's going to be the rest of the elite guys, then let's go. That's what my man just said. Once again, he's going to be fighting against Walter from Namibia. If I can pronounce dude's last name, it's Katan Dokwa. Walter Katan Dokwa from Namibia. But he has a good record. He's 17-0 with 16 knockouts. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You know, he could be the real deal, or he could be the real damn spill. We'll find out. So, yeah. So that's what Demetrius Andrade had to say, Gennady Golovkin. Let's see if Gennady Golovkin is willing to follow what Demetrius Andrade is attempting to do. Fight the best. Boy, man, hey, Money, it is really going to be interesting to hear what Golovkin is going to do. I mean, what is he, like I said, there's no different. What does he do? He has no good options right now. If he retires, it looks bad. If he fights Charlo, he has a chance of losing that fight. If he fights another Vanes Martirosyan, he looks even worse.
No.
So
it looks worse. Well, we all know that movie Saw, correct?
Yeah.
The movie Saw.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
He's in that situation, man.
Oh, man.
You know, he's in that situation.
No good options.
He's locked down. And now he has someone coming up on the television screen, the WBC. There's a game.
Oh, great analogy.
Play a game with you.
Great analogy. The WBC. I want to play a game with you.
I want to play a game with you.
Woo, that's good stuff, Money.
To make a sacrifice.
That's good stuff, boy.
I'm telling you, man, that came out of nowhere for real. But it just hit me. I'm like, what are you going to do? You know, everything that you ran away from, because you had the belt and you could get away with it. Now all of a sudden it has come back and it has caught up to you. You know, and you said it earlier, Dante. You know about karma. It has caught up to him. So now it's like, okay, if you really want the rematch, then you'll take it with, you know, through Charlo in order to be able to get to the person you really want to. But if you don't do that, well, that just tells me, you know, okay, you never had any intention of fighting Jamal in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he never did.
It just underlines it. It seals it.
And you know what, Money? You notice how silent, you notice how quiet Abel has been, as vocal as he usually is.
Yes.
Why hasn't he hasn't done one single interview saying that we're gonna take this Charlo fight? He used to love saying how we want revenge. Now they have even more of a reason to fight Canelo because they lost to him. But now you got to fight against Charlo to get to Canelo. And Abel hasn't come out and said anything.
You're right. You're right. But there's also something too that was thrown in there, and we were talking about that earlier. When it talks about, when he came out and he said it was a good day for Mexican fans because they have their champion now. Now my antennas went up when he said that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
mine's too.
Okay. I'm like, okay, you made a huge statement. Now, if I was Triple G's coach, I wouldn't be making that statement.
Yeah.
It's almost like, yeah, you lost, but at least you lost to my people.
At least you lost to my people.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. Hey, you might be heartbroken, son, but hey, look at it on this side. I'm happy. Hey, Viva Mexico. Viva Mexico.
I mean, you think about it. Yeah, if you really think about it. Here it is. Let's see. Abel Sanchez has been a little bit on the slide lately. First, it was
put it mildly. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he had his fighter lose to Usyk. Okay, he had him. He lost to what's his name? Cruiserweight. I forgot his name, but he lost. He's out of Russia, and he lost to Usyk in the World Boxing Super Series. Then he was on TV maybe about 3 weeks after that.
Was it
and he
Gasayev?
had another up-and-coming fighter.
Gasayev, right?
He lost.
Gasayev? Was it Mood?
Gasayev. That's who lost to Usyk. Then about 3 weeks later, he's on TV again, and he had another fighter that lost. And then all of a sudden, about a week later, boom, here it is. Triple G loses.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he suffered 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, and
as
just
a coach.
And just imagine if Golovkin had a black trainer, and his black trainer said, "Hey, well, at least he lost to a brother." You know what I'm saying? It's 4th of July. It's Kwanzaa Day, and he lost to a brother. So hey man, I mean, this is a good day. Hey, at least there's another black champion. You know what I mean? So that makes 70% of the champions this win.
That would not go over well at all, man.
Not at all.
Especially if he had someone like Floyd Mayweather Sr. in his corner. No, that wouldn't go.
Black
wouldn't
power.
go well at all.
Yeah. Hey. We lost, but hey, it's Black Power Day. It's Black. Hey, as a matter of fact, it's Black History Month. There you go. You said it right at the same time I said it, Randy. Randy said it right at the same time I said it, man. Hey, man, at least he lost. Hey, and it's Black History Month. So come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Money said that.
Yeah. Buddy said that too, huh? So yeah, once again, man, when you put the side by side comparisons, and once again, this is how you expose the double standard. So for you fans that just do tight buys and say, "Hey, shut up, you guys are biased," shut up, you guys, but you're not explaining it. I want you guys to give us side by side comparisons to how we're mistreating one of your favorite fighters compared to a fighter that we're giving credit that doesn't deserve it. I want you guys to explain it like we do. We give you substance over here. And we ain't talking opinion. We give you guys facts over here. And if we ever do voice our opinion, we'll tell you right before we say it. This is my personal opinion, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, well, I was saying, just we were waiting for you to come back online. I had said the thing about your show, you have the decafs, they're out there floating around. They know that you're telling the truth. But they want to see if they can put a spin on it in order to be able to take it back to their people or their followers or, whatever the case. Saying, oh, I got one over them. See, there's the crack in the dam right there. See? I'm showing you that right now. That's a bunch of garbage.
That's the crack in the dam. Mm-hmm. That's the crack in the dam right there. And shout out to my man Troy King. He showed me love in the comment section, in the super chat section. He donated to me. I appreciate you, Troy. He donated twice. Thanks for showing the love. I appreciate that, man. And my man Drink More Water. He showed a donation.
Good stuff from Troy.
Yeah, good stuff. Even if I don't agree with what he's saying, I mean, it's just boxing talk at the end of the day, man. But my man, Drink More Water, he said, Dante, don't let him talk that foolish shit because he your boy. And he said any regular caller would be called a decaf trying to down Errol. But see, this is the thing, and thanks for the donation. But see, this is the thing, though, Drink More Water. everybody that has called in, no matter how big of a decaf they were, we gave them respect. We gave them respect. Like the decaf who called in earlier today, we gave him respect. Now, yeah, of course, I'm gonna be a little bit biased, and of course, if it's my friend, I ain't gonna be like, oh, shut up, oh, F you this, oh, you punk ass this and that, I'm about to hang up. What you say about my mama? We ain't gonna do all of that. We ain't gonna do all of that. So why would you say, hey man, I know that's your friend, but why don't you call him a bitch ass, punk ass? We're not gonna. Why would I do that if that's my friend? You know what I'm saying? You gonna get, once again, this is education over here, man. We just trying to educate cats. You know what I'm saying? Even if you a decaf, if you not a decaf, you know what I mean? We just trying to, you learn something every day. I learn something every day. We all learn something every day. So if I have a chance, if we have a chance to enlighten you with something you did not know, you know what I'm saying? Then that's what it is. It's education at the end of the day, man. And
hey, and Doctor, let me salute with what Money said is with you taking the call from fans like myself and others, you really get to get a picture of what fans think like. You can kind of even hear when they speak, whether it's coming from their own minds or if it's something they're regurgitating. And I like hearing a lot of that because, like I said, over the years, after even people personally in my life, friends, family, who regurgitate a lot of the Lampley type crap, I have excluded them from watching sports with me. But to be able to hear what's in the environment of the sport is good. And I like what you got going with the phone calls and fans being the voice their opinions. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And somebody in the comment section, once again, another person who won't call in, but he said decaf, it means you disagree with Dante. So I want to ask you a question. If Gennady Golovkin, let's see if you agree with Dante or disagree with Dante. Matter of fact, let me find this guy's name real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, the comments have moved up pretty fast. I can't find. Where's okay. All right, forget it. I can't find his name now. So let me ask you a question.
He was URF.
So if
URF.
What was his name?
That was URF.
Okay, URF. Okay, so URF. So if Gennady Golovkin tells the public that he wants to unify all the belts, and then all of a sudden Darren Yevchenko becomes his mandatory, he gives up his belt to fight Vanes Monterosian. Would you agree with me that makes Gennady Golovkin look like a hypocrite? Let me see if he's going to respond in the comment section real quick. URF, go ahead and respond because I know he ain't going to call in. But yeah, y'all tell.
Jeopardy music along with
that. Yeah. Jeopardy music playing right now. He got to think about this one, boy. This is a $10,000 question. He got to get it right. Jeopardy music playing.
All right.
Hey, URF. URF, are you gonna call in? You want to call in?
He responded. He said yes.
Okay. So basically, you know what a decaf is. A decaf is an irrational, emotional person who's not thinking with logic. A decaf is a person who would have said, no, that does make sense. That does make sense because Golovkin is doing it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? That's what a decaf is. That's what a decaf. Decaf stands for dumb, casual ass fan. And what that often means is a person who thinks with emotion and not logic. And most of the time are racist fans. You know what I mean? This is what a decaf is. So when you see somebody calling people N-words and all kind of stuff like that in the comment section just because Terence Crawford beat Jose Benavidez like people did in my live stream, soon as I did a live stream blow-by-blow commentary, and soon as Terence Crawford knocked him out, I had no racial slurs up until that point. Soon as Terence Crawford knocked out Benavidez, all of a sudden my comment section gets flooded with a couple cats N-word and other racial slurs, and they kept typing it over and over and over again because the comments were coming in quick. Those are what you call decafs. So when you say people who don't disagree with Dante, I hope you don't agree with those people that's calling black people N-words and all kind of other stuff. So yeah, man, that's what it is. Once again, man, education on top of education. You're getting it all for free over here. You don't need no loans to get this damn education at this college. For real. Yes, sir. So anyway, let's go ahead and get ready to close out. Let's take another call, and then we're gonna get ready to close out. Okay, we got 413. I know who this is right here. My man called in a couple times already. My man representing Puerto Rico, right? Philly. What's going on, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Nah, Miss Michael from Massachusetts, Puerto Rico.
That's what I mean when I say you repping Puerto Rico. I mean you Puerto Rican. Because that's what you were talking. We were talking about that before. But anyway, what's going on, man?
Okay, I ain't here to address Floyd Mayweather because, man, I mean, yeah, he's gonna fight or whatever. I don't give a fuck about him. He's just here to milk the fans, whatever. I'm here to talk about Jose Benavidez and Terence Crawford. So I'm gonna address what you said, Eagle said, and some other dude. I'm not sure what the hell his name is.
Blue Blood.
He said, well, Benavidez. He said, oh, whatever. Who cares? He said, Benavidez. Oh, he started complaining about his leg in the 7th round. Well, that's not true. He said that after the interview that his leg got caught up in the 7th round, whatever the case. But did he see the part when Benavidez said, I messed my hand up in the 2nd round? He said, I messed my hand up in the 2nd round. 7th round, my leg gave out on me. But Jose Benavidez stated clearly after the fight, besides all that, he said clearly, I respect Terence Crawford. He beat me. He was a better man, no excuses.
Right.
So he's not making any excuses.
Oh yeah, but the thing is,
Mexican fans
he brought his leg up.
Yeah, but it's like you don't bring it up though because that takes that's.
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm Hispanic. I was going for Benavidez since he's Hispanic too.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I call it bias. It's not really bias because truth is, Terence Crawford did his thing. By the end of the day, I wasn't really impressed. I wasn't impressed. I think Errol Spencer's me too much for him, to be honest. It's my opinion. But now I want to talk about a lot of these people talking about Jermell and Jamal. Listen, they're not fucking with Canelo Alvarez. That's just about mine. I'm going to tell you why. Reason is because he's Latino. I'm not saying Canelo is going to beat up Jamal. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about, like, let's say experience-wise. I don't think either of them have enough experience to stand the pressure of Canelo Alvarez, right?
But it's a little premature.
Not hurt. Canelo Alvarez.
Go ahead, Money.
Disagree all you want. I'm giving my reason why.
I got you. And I'm giving you my reason why.
All right. So Canelo Alvarez, if Gana Golovkin, as we all know, is a hard puncher, which is whatever, cool. If you cannot hurt Canelo Alvarez, let's say Jamel fight Canelo Alvarez. They're very strong, yes. That's the point, yeah. But if he cannot hurt Canelo, what is he going to do to Jamel? Because maybe they're used to, guys folding under the power, right? So mentally, will Jamel be able to handle that? Now, let's say not only that, but experience-wise, Jamel, I think they need more experience, at least maybe like 2 or 3 more fights before they step up to Canelo. Now, not only that, but Canelo, he has a great chin, and he also boxes. Great jab, great footwork, bows and weaves, hard puncher. So if he can't hurt Canelo, and Canelo is outboxing, super punches, hitting with his power shots, will Jamel be mature enough to handle that? Will they?
Yeah, I know they will.
And not only that,
I know they will.
Not only that, but Jamel have not been in a big stage yet. Can handle the pressure even of the whole fight going on with that.
Okay,
I think Canelo Alvarez is too good.
Okay.
Too much power, too slick. Jamel is not in his level, any way, shape, or form.
Okay, I'm gonna let Money.
Golovkin.
Hold
on.
I'm
not done. I think Golovkin.
Hold on, bro. We gotta move. We gotta pass the mic around.
Everybody first.
Hold on, because if you
take out Jamal and Jamel.
Hold on.
Okay, then
hold on.
Let me know when you finish.
No, hold on, because I don't want to forget.
Is that Blue Blood?
No, that's Money. That's Money. But I want to make sure. Hold on, guys. Before Money, before you start. No, the reason.
Said he's gonna talk, so.
No, I want to give you a certain time and then let Money talk, because if you bring up too many points, then we start forgetting. We won't be able to respond to everything that you said. But Money. But just to let you know, Money, his son actually spars with Jamal Charlo. He has a son that's an undefeated middleweight prospect, and his son spars with Jamal. But go ahead, Money. Respond.
Yep.
Okay then. I noticed that, you keep out. Let's drop Jermell from the conversation in reference to that. Okay. It's Jamal that you're actually talking about. All right. So you're talking about a guy that comes from roughly 185, 190 pounds down to 160. Okay. This guy, I don't know if you ever seen him up close. Okay. I don't know if you've seen him up close, but he looks like either a college football player or NFL defensive back. All right. This guy is huge. He's like 6'1".
I'm 6'4".
Okay, it doesn't matter.
We're not talking about. You're not fighting. You're not fighting Canelo.
You're not fighting Canelo. So you're not in the equation. But I got you though. However, Jamal's jab is probably like a lot of guys out there, like their right hand. I don't think you probably really understand that. I really don't, man. But it's okay. But the main thing is Jamal has been the distance before. You talk like as if they've never been the distance before, especially Jamal. He can go the distance, and he's looking in order to mix it up. You talk about Mexican style, sure, he'll do it. But Triple G is supposed to fight. If he wants a rematch, he's supposed to fight who? Jamal Charlo. So that's an end discussion in reference to that altogether. That's not even a discussion.
And before
either he's going to do what he's supposed to do in order to get a rematch, or he's just going to, fall off into the oblivion.
And before I let my man from Massachusetts rebuttal or reply, I want to respond as well and say this. I think it's a little premature for us to even talk about this fight. I mean, you getting my hopes up high because I would love to see this fight. But the problem is, if Canelo doesn't agree to fight against Jamal Charlo, then as far as I'm concerned, even he is not agreeing with your assessment. Even he is not looking at Charlo the way you're looking at him. Let me also say this. Abel
Charlo
Sanchez.
Lose, though. It doesn't matter. If they do fight, he'll lose.
We'll
But the thing, but Canelo needs to have that confidence. Canelo needs to have that confidence. Canelo needs to believe that beating Charlo is an easy fight, or not even easy fight. He needs to believe that he can beat him. It can't be you. It can't be his trainer. It can't be me. It has to be Canelo. He has to believe that. And if he don't believe it, then it doesn't really matter. So let's just Abel Sanchez.
Know what he believes, though? I don't think
because he's taken other opponents. Because he's fighting Rocky Fielding. Because he's fighting Rocky Fielding.
Everybody put in front of him.
He's fighting Rocky Fielding.
They put
Charlo.
He's not scared of Golovkin.
They put Charlo in front of him.
He's this monster, but he's scared of Jamal.
They put Charlo in front of him. Charlo is his mandatory.
Come on, man.
Charlo is his mandatory.
Breed altogether.
Charlo is his mandatory.
Oscar, you too.
The only thing that's different is his hair. He has blonde hair like a little fag. That's about it.
You know something? None of that actually matters.
It don't really matter.
The only thing that matters. The only.
Ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got. Well, tell. Hey. Well, you need to tell. Well, you need to tell Canelo. You need to tell Canelo. What you need to do is you need to tell Canelo that he has the.
You're right.
No,
you're right. Canelo is choosing not to fight Jamal, and it's Jamal.
It's Jamal.
And Golovkin is also doing the same thing. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay. Now we at least I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty.
I'm just saying.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to talk to you again after Jamal. That's if I want to see what you're going to say when Triple G does not fight Jamal. When he decides to go opposite field altogether, away from this guy who you claim to be.
He's talking about Canelo.
I agree that he's avoiding Jamal. You know what I'm saying? I agree he's avoiding him. I agree with that. I'm just saying if they were to fight, I'm not just. I said I agree with you. I think personally Golovkin is avoiding Jamal. I agree with you. I'm just saying if they were to fight, I think Golovkin would destroy this dude.
But then if that's the case,
well, you're probably going to have to use your Jedi mind tricks in order to get Triple G to agree with you.
Well, if I wish somebody would call up Canelo.
Where I stand, I said yes. They are.
No, it's not that. It's not that. Sure, you're clear in what you're saying, but you have to talk to Triple G about that one.
All right, bro. Hey, I'm gonna get to another one, man.
I can't make him fight Jamal.
No, none of us can. None of us can. None of us can. And that's the bad thing with boxing, bro.
Right.
That's the sad thing with boxing.
It's crazy how your whole script done changed on confidence of what Triple G would do, and you done woke up from it, and now the whole script done changed. Like, you got to put your pride aside, man.
No. I'm not even a good-looking fan like that. I'm just saying. I honestly think if they were to fight, he would destroy Jamal.
But the fighter,
then.
hey,
that's
hey,
fine.
hey,
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Just like a lot of people were talking shit about Mikey Garcia with Adrian Broner. Mikey whooped his ass. Dante was saying, Robert Easter, he's a tough opponent for Mikey Garcia. It's 50-50. Mike Garcia whooped his ass.
Robert Garcia said the same thing, bro. Robert Garcia said the same thing. And Mikey Garcia said the same thing. To this day, it's still the best win on Mikey Garcia's record. Right. And it was a good.
I remember Robert Garcia saying that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Robert he said that, and he was adamant about it. And he had never said this about none of Mikey's opponents. He said, "Man, this is a tough fight, man. You might see Mikey have to do different things that he didn't do before." He said, "We're gonna have to get into that reach." And Mikey didn't even have to get into the reach. Mikey actually outboxed the boxer.
Yeah, look how big Robert is, though. Robert is very tall. More recent Mikey Garcia.
And Mikey was outboxing him.
Mikey whooped his ass.
And Mikey was outboxing him.
Mikey whooped his ass, and he dropped him.
Yeah.
And he had Robert Easter backpedaling. So how you gonna tell me, Jamal's big?
That's not.
He's a big guy for Golovkin or Canelo.
That's not
the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
That's not anywhere.
Jamal is not a Robert Easter though.
I was, individuals like yourself. You need a dose of reality. You really need a dose of reality because you are truly a decaf. As a matter of fact, you are what I call a super decaf. You need a serious dose of reality to step inside of that ring with Jamal yourself. I'm serious. No. Because
Golovkin isn't avoiding him.
No. You are hiding. No. You're hiding. You're playing, you have this cloak, you come with a cloak, okay? You're saying that, but actually what you're doing is something completely different.
Oh, you're definitely biased, bro. You're definitely biased, bro.
Hold up.
It's okay to say that you're biased. I don't care.
Well,
at least just come out and say that you are.
You can't say that.
Because you know something. Yes, no.
Well, he said he was biased earlier.
You are on record.
He said he was biased earlier.
Replayed this again. You said right when you came out earlier, about 10 minutes ago, that you are biased.
He said he was biased.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Whoa, hold up. I understand what you're saying. That's a good point. I understand. But under the day,
there's nothing wrong with that. But you just said you're going against that now.
I'm biased in certain situations. Like, for instance, I like Errol Spence. So if he fights against a Hispanic fighter, and I'm not really a fan of this guy, I'm going to go with Errol Spence. So
you got Latino pride. You're going to go with the Latino in the field.
Yeah, you already said you would go with the Latino. But there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong. If you want to go...
I went with Jose Benavidez because he's a good boxer.
Yeah, but it's...
Well, let's say it was a Hispanic guy I didn't know of. I would have went Terence Crawford.
But if you... Listen, but if you want to go for the Latino just because he's Latino, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. If you want to go with for the black guy just because he's black, nothing wrong with that. But when you start...
I know nothing wrong with that.
But when
what is solved... What I'm curious about, what is soft about Jamal Charlo, in your honest opinion? What's soft about it?
Whoa. Where did I say he was soft?
Oh, you talked about his hairstyle. No. You said that sissy hairstyle.
Well, he said Canelo.
That's what you said.
He said Canelo has a chin.
That's what
he said Canelo has a good chin.
He
said Canelo has a good chin. He said Canelo has a good chin.
And what do you think that leads on anything else?
Oh, no,
that's an assumption going other ways.
No.
The bottom line is very simple. Oh, okay. But the bottom line is what is so susceptible about Jamal Charlo, in your opinion?
Now, if you would have let me explain, I think Jamal Charlo.
Go right ahead.
I think he's good.
Okay.
Did I say he was bad? Did I say he was horrible? I just said Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, Gennady Golovkin, there's just too much for him. That's all I said. I agree. They had great jabs, they're great fighters, but I said they need like 2 or 3 more fights, and then I could evaluate them and say, you know what, I think it might be a good matchup.
All right, Massachusetts, I'm gonna get to another one, bro.
I got you.
Hey, I'll catch up with you next week.
We'll talk again soon.
We'll talk next week. All right, man. All right, bro. Take care, man.
Take it easy now. Okay.
Hey, Dante, they saying a caller at area code 443. I guess that might be someone.
Okay. All right. Let's go into it. Let's go right into it. All right, 443. You live? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Yo, what's up, y'all? Tyrone from Maryland.
What's going on, Tyrone? What's on your
Hey,
mind, man?
what's happening?
I'm about to run through some stuff real quick. Y'all watch the World Boxing Super Series over the
Yes.
weekend?
For what? The cruiserweight?
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah,
You
which
had
one you
two
talking
going
about?
now. You had two of them going.
I'm gonna go through both of them.
Okay.
I like Tabiti. I think Tabiti is a good fighter. You know, there was about a Robin though, which was crazy, but you know that was a good fight. I'm interested. See him and Dorticos when Dorticos get past that plumber or whatever he's fighting in the other round.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Tabiti? You watched Tabiti? Okay.
Yeah, Tabiti.
Okay.
He was good. Yeah, he was real good. Tete, the South African brother, I've seen him since he knocked out Paul Butler in the UK.
Okay.
People giving him a lot of slack for not knocking this dude out, but I mean, this dude was a world amateur champion twice, Olympic champion, bronze medalist, and silver medalist. He was no slouch. And he did the business, so that was a good fight.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about Mike Hunter. If y'all saw Mike Hunter over the weekend.
I did not see Mike Hunter fight. No, I did not see him fight.
You got to watch that fight.
And I missed that
Yeah,
one
I'll
too.
go back on DAZN and check it out. Yeah.
It's not on DAZN. It's it was over in Scotland versus a heavyweight called Martin Bacoli.
Okay.
Really touted prospect. Mike Hunter went over there and brought his two judges and did the job.
Okay.
Yep. Now I'm going to talk about Charlo Jamal. I'm hearing he's about to fight Sulecki.
Yes. That's correct.
At first I was like, not again, but then I looked through BoxRec. I was just looking through rankings. I was like, everybody's caught up. It honestly is the best guy out there available right now.
Oh, no doubt about it. Molesky, he gave Jacobs hell. He gave Jacobs hell.
He did.
That's
man, I have mad respect for him.
That's a real good fight.
But he is coming off of a loss. It's the best guy available, so I'm not going to criticize. If there was other people, better, I would, but there really isn't anybody, so I can't really say nothing about that fight. He just needs to fight, get something in. Everybody else is caught up.
And
I think he'll make it exciting for as long as it lasts, but more than likely, because he is a bleeder, he's probably going to get cuts on his face. More than likely, I think around about the late second round, going to the third round, his face is going to turn somewhat blood red, and then after that, he may go down from one of those left hooks from Jamal.
Yeah,
but he's a warrior. He's going to give everything he has. He's a very dangerous fighter. He will give you everything he has until he can no longer do that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys. Once again, when you have a fighter like Wilder, who's calling out Anthony Joshua, you got Jamal, who's calling out Gennady Golovkin, the guy at the top of the division. You can't really criticize him when he's facing someone else as opposed to the guy he wants to fight, which is the guy at the top of the division. You know what I mean? So when he's trying to get Golovkin and he can't get him, then you can't really criticize him. It would be different if you're pulling a Gennady Golovkin where you have the Jamal Charlos, the Darren Yevchenkos after you, and you decide to fight Vanes Monterosian. That's the complete contrary, and that's when it should be criticized extremely. So hey, but anyway, man. Hey, but thanks for your call, man. I'm gonna try to get to another one, bro. All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right, take care, man.
Take it easy. Have a good one now. Thanks for calling in.
All day. So, that's pretty much what that was. Let me see. Let's try to take a couple more calls back to back, and then we'll go and wrap it up, guys. Okay, so we got 443. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Dante? It's Hassan from Baltimore. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's good?
Not much, man. Everything good, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
All right, man.
It's all good. What's happening, man? All right.
What's on your mind, man?
Nothing much. Yeah, man, I hate to do this because I don't want to sound like devil's advocate, but I gotta bring up the Triple G situation. And I have a question, and I know because you guys are in the boxing circle, I want to know if you can answer it, or if I'm reaching, or am I thinking too much? Okay.
All right. Okay. Shoot.
All right. Okay. So just like everybody else, I'm excited. I was excited when they said, "Hey, you have to fight Jamal Charlo for the WBC to see who finds out who's the number one contender." Just like everybody else, I was happy. I was thinking, yeah, finally he has to fight a worthy opponent, somebody actually good in the top of the middleweight division. Then I start thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? His track record, he's not going to do it. And then I really started to think hard. I was like, you know what? I think there is a gray area or a way that he could sneak out what Dante, you like to say, sneak out the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a way he can do it. And hear me out real quick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When he lost to Canelo, he lost the WBA Super and the WBC titles, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay. So Charlo is forced to fight him for the WBC mandatory. Why ain't it possible for this man? He's already relinquished the IBF belt, as you can see, to Deryevchenko. So isn't it possible for him to drop the WBC sanction as a whole, stay in the WBA because he already had that belt, so he has to be in the top two contention between that, fight Ryoto Murata in Japan for the regular belt, and
I was thinking the same thing.
And force a 75-25 split for the regular and the super title, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Jacob and Triple G fight technically for the regular and super, so that way they can find out who's the main champion?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, all the other belts were on the line. Can't he find a backdoor way to get out of that like that? I hope he does it.
Listen,
isn't it possible?
Oh, it's very possible. But see, this is the point that I was alluding to earlier. When I said all of his options are bad, that's another bad option. Because if he dedicated himself to fighting Canelo Alvarez, he's been calling out Canelo Alvarez for years. We know that he wants a rematch. For you to try to justify you not fighting Charlo to get to Canelo, and you say, forget it. I know if I got to fight Charlo, then I no longer want Canelo. If you say that and you fight someone else, it's going to make him look bad, period. It's going to make him look bad, period. Yes. The fact that he's not avenging the Canelo Alvarez loss just because he has to fight Charlo. So my point was all the exits are still sealed, because no matter which direction he goes, it's bad for Gennady Golovkin. Even if he were to fight, once again, a tomato can and not fight against Murata, he still looks bad, because people are going to say, wait a minute, you've been wanting to fight Canelo. Now Canelo beat you. And now because you got to fight Charlo to get to him, now you don't even want Canelo anymore? What's going on? You said you wanted to be the unified champion. You said you wanted to be the unified champion. Now you're giving up belts. You said you wanted to fight Canelo. Now you don't want to fight Canelo. What's going on, Golovkin? And that's how it's going to be looked at. So that's his safest. But you're right. That's his safest exit, though. That is his safest exit, no doubt about it. But go ahead.
But here's my question. If he cared about looking bad and he cared about what us boxing fans wanted, he would have been fought Sergey Deryevchenko. He would have fought Demetrius Andre. He would have been fought Charlo. I don't think he cares. I just think he wants to get as much money as he can and lead out with the, hey, I'm 36, pushing 37.
And that's fine. And that's fine.
Right.
And it's his prerogative.
You make a solid point.
And it's his prerogative.
You make a solid point. And I thought roughly the same thing that you were thinking. I said, Murata, I said, this is the ultimate target for a guy like Triple G to fight, go to Japan, probably win the title. There you go. Yeah. I said that would be his out if he lost all the belts. This was before he lost the IBF belt. So I'm with you all the way. Listen. I said, let me figure a scenario around this, just in case if he was to be stripped of all of the belts.
And understand
he's probably looking at Murata if he can still hold on to it. But it just won't make him. He won't go down looking well in history. But like you said, the money probably doesn't. With the money being paid, probably none of that stuff in terms of legacy would matter.
And that is the point right there. Once again, it's his prerogative. Whatever he wants to do, it's up to him. If he don't care how his legacy is looked, if he don't care how he's remembered, it's up to him. He can fight whoever he wants to. It doesn't really matter. But just remember this, guys. Like I said, if Muhammad Ali said, I don't give a damn what y'all think, I'm going to make my money. I'm going to make my money. If somebody told Muhammad Ali, instead of you fighting against that tough, dangerous Joe Frazier, you could fight Rudy Two Shoes, and we're going to give you a little bit more money. You're going to make more money. This is good for your bank account. Forget about what the fans say. And Muhammad Ali, he said, yeah, forget about Joe Frazier. Forget about greatness. I'm going to go ahead and fight Rudy Two Shoes, right? And he go fight him. He will not be remembered as a great. No one is going to be saying, well, Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest because he basically told the fans, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care who y'all want to see me fight. You know what I mean? So Golovkin could do whatever he want to do, but he will be remembered. Right. He will be remembered however he wants to be remembered. And he's going to be if he goes that route. If Golovkin doesn't fight Charlo to get to Canelo, if he doesn't beat Canelo decisively in a rubber match, if he doesn't beat Charlo, if he doesn't fight Jacobs in a rematch and beat him decisively, Golovkin will go down. No doubt about it. It's not even a debate. He will go down as the most overrated fighter of this generation because of how ESPN rated him. Yeah. And that's
I agree.
And that's what it is.
Especially for us as true boxing fans, I agree with you 100%. But unfortunately, the casual people, they will only remember him knocking people out. And because of that, they will
No, they won't.
Title.
No, they won't, bro. They remember that when he's undefeated, like young, when he was younger and coming up. But once he got confronted with competition and he decided not to fight them, people are not going to be talking about him knocking people out because a lot of undefeated prospects were knocking out people before they stepped up in competition. You're remembered with the names that you're attached to. Once again, Ali, his name is attached. He is anonymous with Joe Frazier, Sonny Liston, George Foreman. Leonard's name is attached to Hearns, Duran. Who is Golovkin going to be attached to? He's going to be attached to Canelo, but he lost to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he's going to be remembered. He ain't going to be remembered for knocking out Lemieux and Adama. He's going to be remembered for losing in his biggest outing to Canelo Alvarez if he doesn't fight him in the third rubber match. So yeah, that's how he's going to be remembered. That's for sure.
And the other thing that stands out is Charlo possesses every dynamic that has ever given Triple G trouble, with strength on top of it, and the physical advantages.
Yeah,
and they really have no tape to study of Charlo because in all of his fights he's so dominant. So it's nowhere where they're seeing cracks that they can take advantage of. So it's a true belt who has.
What some of the casuals, not meaning to interrupt, but what some of the casuals do try to use, they try to go back to Austin Trout, but what they fail to realize, that was at 154 pounds. He had to struggle in order to make that weight. That's not a factor now. Now you're talking about him being a middleweight. It's a completely different ball game now. So just like when people try to talk about Terence Crawford when he fought gold medalist Gamboa. When he got stunned the one time, okay, that was 135 pounds. He was struggling to make 135. That is a factor.
Yeah.
But now he's at 147. That's not a factor anymore.
Not a factor anymore. Right. Yeah. Hey, but thanks for your call, bro. Good stuff, man. I'm going to get to another one. All right, man?
All right, then. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, man. Good stuff, man. So, yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Couldn't get to everybody's call, man. It's early for me, but I know it's late for y'all. It's 11 in the morning out here in Thailand right now, and I know it's I know. One
more call, Dante.
One more call? All right, man. All right. Well, it's money. It's money that you pissing off, not me, man. It's Money's wife. You got
It's
one.
all good.
You got Money's
Just,
wife over
hey,
here.
We're 3 hours 4 minutes into this, and that's when I came in.
Okay.
So,
Okay. We doing one of them. We doing one of them Jack Johnson 45 rounders. It ain't a 15 rounder. It's a 45 rounder.
It's all good.
All day. All right. Well, since my man Reggie said let's take another call, man. Let's go ahead and take another call, man. You could thank Reggie for getting on the horn, man. We got 845. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Dante's Boxing Nation. How y'all doing, man? It's Mr. Finesse. You know, you seeing me. I'm always in the chat fighting for you, Dante.
Oh, yeah.
Fighting
I appreciate
the decaf. I'm going to say a
decaf
couple
busters.
things. I know y'all don't have a lot of time.
Go ahead.
I'll be fast. Money, I just want to say respect to you. I never heard you call somebody a super decaf before today. So that was pretty dope. All right, so I'm going to touch on a couple of things that was said earlier. The dude that you called a super decaf, I just want to touch on that state of mind, right? Where you got people saying Charlo Canelo would beat Charlo or Golovkin would beat Charlo, right? But what are we basing that on, right? Canelo had a hard time with Lara. He had a hard time with Trout. He had a hard time with Golovkin. He even had a hard time with Amir Khan. I mean, when you've seen Canelo against his best competition, he might have won, but he never dominated. So to say, like, he'll destroy Charlo, you really ain't basing that on nothing other than your feelings and your emotions.
Hey, man. Go ahead.
And that even goes with Golovkin. And then now I want to rebuttal something you just said, Dante. You were saying that, if Golovkin don't fight Charlo, he's going to be remembered as he's not going to be remembered as a great fighter, and I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. You see, the difference, because you kept using Ali as a reference, if Ali didn't fight Frazier, but Ali is black.
That's a good point.
His standard is different.
That's a good point.
Golovkin fought, think about this, they just named him one of the top, whatever, middleweight.
Greatest,
ever, right?
Yeah,
And this dude fought Kell Brook. He fought Vanes Martirosyan, Willie Monroe, Dominic Wade,
Marco Antonio Rubio.
I could name the cab driver, the dude that work at BJ's, the lady at Walmart,
the Uber drivers.
All these people, and they're calling him number 2 all time. Do you really think it'll matter if he fight Charlo or not? See what they do with people like Golovkin. They'll rewrite this history.
Yeah.
Me, you, Money, the panel will know what really happened. But 20 years from now, they're going to sell our kids a whole different dream. Oh, this guy was a monster. He fought everyone. And the people he didn't fight, they were scared. They're going to act like they don't remember he gave up a belt because he didn't want to fight Deryevchenko. They're going to act like they didn't remember that he fought Vanes off a layoff. That's how they're going to pretend. So I don't really believe his legacy will be affected by not fighting somebody. I think his legacy is going to be affected when he fucks up, excuse my language, when he fuck up and step in the ring with a dog and get laid out, because that will happen. Before it's over, I do think that will happen.
That's excellent.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about was, I keep hearing people now, they talking about Spence and Crawford, they're not calling each other out. They're not being aggressive enough. And here's my thing about that. I heard Mikey Garcia call out a whole bunch of motherfuckers over the last however many years and not fight none of them, right? That call out thing doesn't really mean shit if the people who make the fights ain't gonna make the fight. I heard Danny Garcia and Sean Porter tell me they're gonna fight Errol Spence after his fight. After they fight each other, they fought each other. Neither one of them won it. So I don't think the calling out really means anything.
Yeah,
it really comes down to, because we saw Wilder call out Joshua. Did he get that fight? You know what I'm saying?
No. But you know something, you're right. Let me just say this, and you're right. But it does a little small thing though. Here's something that it takes the pressure off the one who's doing the calling out when they come into the ring. It takes the pressure off of them. Even if they don't make the fight, it's on the other guy now. Hey, that guy came to you. He called you out. What are you going to do? Just like when we were little kids. That type of little thing. It's not on the person who called. Yeah,
I agree with you.
I mean, but overall, you're right in what you're saying.
Yeah, because if Saturday night after the fight, Terence Crawford said, I want Errol Spence next. Let's say he said that, right? And then let's say Errol Spence right away went and did an interview with somebody and said, I want Terence Crawford next. But Bob Arum's plan is already set. You're going to fight that Russian guy, you're going to fight this Greek guy, you're going to fight this German guy. Did it really matter because Terence Crawford's not his own boss. So him calling somebody out is not that relevant if Bob Arum ain't trying to make that move in that direction. Yeah. In my opinion, And that's why, what I'm hearing, it's like to me, what just happened was we went from where it was like Crawford and Spence, 147, cream of the crop. And because everybody else at 47 is a sucker, we now turning them two against each other.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like. And that's what I don't like.
Do I want to see them fight? Absolutely. That's the best fight in boxing. But my opinion is Sean Porter got an ass whooping that he deserved coming to him.
Big
and I don't
time.
want to pull that off of him and suddenly turn Spence and Crawford the next fight, because that's not going to happen next. That's not going to happen for a minute.
Yep.
Bob Arum ain't letting that dog off the leash for a minute until he see that's his only out.
Yep.
Because he can make more money for keeping everything in-house, you know?
I mean,
correct. He's been doing that for decades now.
Well,
exactly. So why would he do it different now?
Everything you said makes sense. The only thing I would slightly disagree
Pressure
with,
from the people.
I truly believe that Bob Arum really does want to make that fight right now. I feel, the only big fight he can really make is involving himself with Al Heyman. He wants to make the fight, but I also agree with you that I think it's just premature. I think it's premature. Once again, it's the black murderer's role situation right now, where they both, they're both being avoided, and now they have to fight against each other, and they'll probably have to keep fighting against each other like the black murderer's role did, because nobody else will fight them. It's unfair and it's premature. That's the way
and the game is so inconsistent, because when Wilder and Joshua was trying to make their fight, the WBA jumps in. You got 27 seconds to make your fight with Povetkin, or he's stripping you. Mm-hmm. When Rigondeaux fought Lomachenko, the WBA took his belt, even though he wasn't even fighting in that weight class. But Keith Thurman, sitting on a belt for damn near 2 years and hasn't fought nobody. The game is so rigged.
I
love boxing. It's really making me sick, because there's so many great fights that we can see right now, and they're just not making them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man, good stuff, dog. Good stuff, man. I'm going to get to another one, all right, man?
I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great night, man. Dante, keep doing what you're doing. It's Mr. Finesse. Much love to the nation, man. Hey, Money, keep them super decals in check, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Shut up, man. Take it easy. All right.
He said, you are what I call a decaf. I'm not even going to say you're a decaf. You're a super decaf, said my man Money. He said, no, I'll take that back. I ain't going to even be nice with this. You ain't no decaf. You a super decaf. Oh, man.
I almost started to go, hey, man, I almost called him the ultimate decaf. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me.
Damn, you took he was about to be he was about to be a category 5, huh? God damn.
I'm telling you, major upgrade.
But you hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny what you saying that dude is a regular call in. He called in a couple times before. I don't know. You wasn't on the show when he first called in. But he said in the comment section, he said, and I said this while you were calling him a decaf. He said in the comment section when he wanted me to take his call, he said, "Hey, I'm a decaf. I'm a decaf. I'm 413. I'm a decaf. I'm on the line right now." And we went right into it. So yeah, he's a self-admitted proclaim.
There was no shame to it.
No shame in his game, man. He ride for his game.
To the game? He
riding for the decaf gang. He riding for the decaf gang. They gonna start getting bandanas out here in a minute with decaf on them. You know, that's what that is. But yeah, hey, once again, man, we gonna. Man, we on a roll, man. So let's go and take another call, man. We got 3.
Actually, that guy had reminded me of this one person that I was talking to on Facebook, and like those boxing chat rooms, and he was like, Rocky Marciano can defeat Deontay Wilder. I said, son, Rocky Marciano was 188 pounds. I said, he won't beat Usyk. He won't beat a lot of cruiserweights of today, son.
Yeah.
I know you want him to win. I know you do.
Yeah.
But that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a response back off of that, though.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like another Jorge, because you remember when Jorge called in, boy? We had fun with Jorge. Yeah.
Luis Collazo and Errol Spence Jr. go at it online. Stay tuned.
Jorge got to be on the phone.
Yeah, man. Jorge never called back either. He never called back. But anyway. Hey, let's take another one, man. Yeah.
But he went out the door in complete agreement with Dante.
Oh yeah, they always do. They always
Complete
do.
agreement.
They start off saying, "Yeah, man, I got some bones to pick with you, and I'm about to expose you, or I disagree with what you said." By the end of the conversation, they be like, "I agree. You make a good point. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Oh, did he say that? Oh, I didn't know he said that. Oh, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." Man, this once again, man, we talking with facts. So you guys gotta stop letting the blind lead you guys, man. Just because it's stuff you want to hear, you gotta sometimes go home and research that kind of stuff. You gotta say to yourself sometime, I know it sounds good, and I know it makes me feel better to hear this, but is it really true? And you certainly got to do this before you call us up, because we gonna hit you with facts. We're going to hit you with facts, and you're going to be just like them. You're going to be just like them. I agree with you. Oh, I didn't know he said that. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I agree. Oh, that's a valid point. Oh, yes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to end up happening, because you cannot trump emotion and hate with facts. You can't do it. It's impossible. So, yeah, man.
There you go.
That's what it is, man.
You got a 6'4" 6'4" looking like a decaf.
Is that right?
I don't know if he's just a caller, but
but you know, the guy was
he's not
6'4". That made absolutely no sense.
That's a decaf. That's a decaf talking point. I'm 6'4". that's like him telling me, oh well I'm eating ribs right now. Oh well I'm at McDonald's. Oh you said Canelo is 6'1". Well I'm at McDonald's. Oh, well, my mama's name is Clarissa. What does this have to do? What this got to do with the potatoes in Idaho or the casinos in Las Vegas? You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. So we have